Hello, my name is CADE Kiser, and today I will be doing my territory business plan on Stryker upper extremities in the Phoenix area. A little bit of history. Stryker was founded in 1941 by Dr. Homer Stryker. Um, the company's roots come from Dr. Stryker inventing solutions to improve patient care, which leads into their mission statement. Together with our customers, we are driven to make healthcare better. They've been working towards that ever since and have established themselves as one of the top names in the medical device field, and they have grown exponentially over the years. The main procedure that we'll be looking into is going to be the reverse and anatomic total shoulder arthroplasty. The two products that we will be looking into are going to be the Tornier Flex shoulder system and the Tornier Perform, which would be the reverse. A little overview of the Phoenix territory. Some of the major hospitals listed are Banner UMC in Phoenix, Dignity Health with St. Joe's, Valleywise, Phoenix Children's, Abrazo Central, Honor Health, and the Mayo Clinic. We will be primarily looking into Banner UMC Phoenix and the Mayo Clinic with their Phoenix campus. The population in Phoenix currently is about 1.6 um, million, and it's going up over the time. So we should hit that 1.7 here in a couple of years. Um, Age profile, we're looking at about 34 to 35-year-old, um, with some being younger, and about 65 and over. That's about 11% of the population. Looking at the key accounts again, we have the Mayo Clinic up in Phoenix, Banner UMC, Honor Health, and Valleywise. These are all relatively large hospitals, Banner being the largest. Um, Banner being a level one trauma as well as Honor Health and Valleywise, but Mayo Clinic is not listed as a level one. So, what do we see happening in upper extremities? We do see a shift in the delivery of care. So, we're seeing more outpatient, shorter stays. A lot of these procedures are done with the expectation that the patient is up and moving shortly after. Procedural trends, we're seeing the reverse total shoulder arthroplasty becoming a lot more popular. It's easier to manage the bone loss for the glenoid, and we are also seeing an increased adoption of the 3D pre-op planning. Stryker has been using these recent years. Also, biodynamics, we're seeing that the surgeon preference is driving the business. So if they like our product, we're going to sell more. Also, if the OR team likes the product as well, that certainly helps the company to keep its name in the OR. Who am I going to prioritize and where do they work? So we've got um, Dr. Decky, Dr. Netto, and Dr. Hatterup. Um, Decky and Hatterup, they both work for Mayo, and Netto works at Banner. Um, these hospitals are large teaching hospitals, so that's where we really want to hone in on the business, um, and solidify our business with those key accounts. So we've got some brief overviews of the surgeons that I've chosen. Um, Dr. Decky currently is working with Smith and Nephew, but that doesn't mean he won't work with Stryker. Um, his case focus is typically reverse and primary TSAs. He doesn't do a lot in the hands. I'll get into that later. Netto is working in hands. He values reproducible implant positioning and efficient workflow, meaning that he likes to have the same thing each time, get in, get out, less invasive for the patient. Dr. Netto is the surgeon that I chose as being our key client here. He doesn't currently work with anyone, just food and beverage. So they're just wining and dining at the moment, meaning that he's open to using a new product or possibly moving over to becoming a surgeon who uses Stryker. Um, and his clinical focus is going to be hand, wrist, elbow, and then also the shoulder replacements. Hatterup's the guy that I chose as being the surgeon that you just want to keep his business. He's got a long history of Stryker usage, and we want to keep it that way. We want to keep him as one of our key guys up in the Phoenix area. He's a very high volume shoulder surgeon, doing lots of uh, total shoulders, and we want to keep his business as long as we can. So, how do I stand out? I got a plan to execute. I got to start with the 3D planning, that's the pre op, and then move into the bread and butter, which is our total shoulder replacements. Going into my 30, 60, 90-day plan, days 1 through 30, I want to do a complete product training, territory mapping, shadowing at least 5 cases with a full time rep, and then scheduling intro meetings with OR leadership, giving me access to the big dogs, which are the surgeons. 30 days 31 through 60, I want to convert 1 pilot surgeon and support 3 shoulder arthroplasty cases with that surgeon. Hopefully by that time, I'm able to run 2 solo in services and build on the relationships that I have made so far. Days 61 through 90, I'd like to expand to a second account, whether that be an ASC or a surgery group. Also, it would be key to standardize inventory and the planning around all of that to ensure that everything is tidy. How do you measure success? By the 90th day, I'd like to think that I've met 20 surgeons or at least shook their hand and let them know who I am. Um, I'd like to think that within the first 30 days, I could have 12 or more OR observations and 8 or more supported shoulder cases, hopefully leading to like a 15% conversion rate, which would be huge. So, what could block my plan and how do I respond to that? Common barriers, you're looking at limited access, credentialing delays, constraints with SPD. And to battle that, you're going to have to win the scrub tech, get them to notice you and notice that you mean business, and optimize all of our tray organization and get everything tidy and neat and make sure that we are on with our counts and we're not missing anything. So my closing and my ask, if I'm given a territory and a plan and a good coach, I believe I can learn quick and adapt to the territory's needs and hopefully convert some surgeons over to our business. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this presentation and for allowing me to show why I believe I might be a good candidate for a Stryker sales associate up in Phoenix area. Thanks.